Now, joining me live on the broadcast is Major General A.K. Siwach, especially on how exactly the Pakistan's effort and attempt to have a crackdown on the BLA continues from the soil of the US. Major General A.K. Siwach, thank you, sir, for being with us. And now, US says that BLA's armed wing is officially designated under FTO. What does this mean? Especially if we look at it from the context of how the relations between Pakistan and the US have been growing after, the terrorist attack on Indian soil on Pahalgam has happened, especially in the past 2 months. If we track the details, it is Munir's visit to the US at the White House that has also stirred further speculations of more involvement of the US helping Pakistan from the back end.
Absolutely. See, as far as Pakistan is concerned, it is a frontline state of US. And as you have seen it in last 2 months, this is General Asim Munir, the second visit. And you find the relationship between Pakistan and US are growing up. And the reason is simple as that Pakistan has been always used by US whenever it is required and then thrown back. Now, as far as Pakistan is concerned, US need it in case if they have to go back again in Iran. They need their air bases, they need their logistic bases. They also need to keep a check on Afghanistan, especially the terrorist organ like Al Qaeda, ISIS. They need bases for that. Also, they need something to surveillance on also basically on China and Russia. And they don't want Afghanistan to go into the folds of China. So all these things overnight you find the relationship has changed considerably, and you find that Pakistan is becoming quite close to US also for cryptocurrency as well as non-existent oil resources which they jointly want to explore. Having said so, now as far as this BLA concerned, it was a terrorist organization from 2019. What has changed is that it has been now designated as a global, as a foreign terrorist organization, along with the Majeed Brigade, and also specially designated global terrorist. Now, what does it mean? It means that no financial institution can give them any help, or any resources cannot come from foreign soil. In case if there is someone who is financially helping the BLA or Majeed Brigade, the sanctions can be put. So therefore, the point which is there is that BLA is now considered as a foreign terrorist organization and specially designating global terrorist. Now the funds will be completely squeezed, and all financial institutions have been given strict instruction not to give any funds to the BLA and the Majeed Brigade. Now, the two, three things stand out here. Now, why it has happened now when Asim Munir is again in US? See, the Asim Munir, and not only that BLA has been declared as a foreign terrorist, also trying to nuclearly blackmail India by giving saber rattling that Pakistan will use a nuclear weapon in case if India stops the water of the Indus river. Now, all this is happening together. And when the relationship between India and US are not to the best of this thing, because they have imposed 50% tariff, trying to convey to us that India is purchasing oil from Russia and then also selling for the profit to European country. And without realizing that it's not only India, it is China also, it is Turkey also. Europe is still buying gas and to some extent oil, and they isolating India and targeting the unfortunate. But having said so, one has to remember that these relationships which are there with the US, they are not only basically economic relation. They have a larger consequences. So India will take step in a very matured manner rather than reacting in isolation. But as far as this BLA is concerned, if you come here, the Balochistan Liberation Army is fighting a freedom struggle. They are not a terrorist organization. So is their Majeed Brigade. And the world must understand that Balochistan was never a part of Pakistan. Pakistan has basically militarily grabbed Balochistan in 1948. Balochistan is the largest province of Pakistan today. It is thinly populated but very rich in resources like cobalt, zinc, copper, gas, and oil. but it is the poorest out of all the provinces in Pakistan, because Pakistan has been using all the resources for Punjab and other provinces, and Balochistan remain as one of the underdeveloped area. And now this
Absolutely.
China-Pakistan economic corridor which have been made from Xinjiang going to our Gwada is basically putting a nail in the coffin. In the sense, all the resources of Balochistan, which were earlier only exploited by Pakistan, now they are also exploited by China. Now the point which is coming is the freedom struggle which is going on in Balochistan is real, and US must realizing putting all this sanction is of no meaning. But why US is doing it? One can understand that the bonhomie which is now growing between US and Pakistan may be short-lived, but as on today it's growing. India has to be very careful. India has been to be very watchful, especially in another about 15 to 20 days, especially when the you can say the target is of 25th. Before that, in case we have some sort of negotiation with US, so that this 50% and more than 25% is held in abeyance for some time. So India has to take its step in a very, very diplomatic manner, rather than reacting in haste or
All right.
passing any adverse comment against US.
Absolutely. Major General A.K. Siwach, thank you very much for this detailed perspective and